Yes, did you put it on?
Yes.
Look at page 195, exercise 5.1, question 1. Now, very first in every question, we will have to verify whether mode is defined or ill-defined. Look at the question. The following distribution shows demand of 500 milliliter pouches of pasteurized toned milk by 59 consumers. Find Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness from this data. Directly coefficient of skewness is asked. Now very first in every question we will find whether mode is defined or ill-defined, because accordingly we will find mode or medium and accordingly formula will be applied. Which are the 4 conditions when mode is ill-defined? First, class lengths are unequal. This is a discrete frequency distribution question. There are no classes. So first condition does not apply. Second, highest frequency occurs twice or more. What is the highest frequency? 15. 15 is more than 12, okay? Highest frequency is 15. Does 15 occur twice or more? It occurs only once. Third situation, highest frequency is in the beginning or at the end. 15, is it in the beginning or at the end? No. And fourth condition, mixed type, partly discrete, partly continuous. This is fully discrete. So mode is defined. None of the conditions apply means mode is defined. Is everyone clear with it? First we'll mention that here mode is defined. Got it, everyone? Now, when mode is defined, coefficient of skewness J, what is the formula we have to apply? Domain? X bar minus mode divided by S. Now, you are given with Xi and Fi. Okay, what is the first information given to you? Demand of milk pouches, that is Xi. And what is the second information? Number of consumers, that is Fi. Now we are here. To find X bar, we will need Fi Xi. To find mode, we don't need any workings. Yesterday's that homework all of you have done? Yes. So mode, we don't need any workings. And for standard deviation, we require Fi Xi square. Raise your hand, last chapter we studied this. How will you find Fi Xi square? Yes sir?
Fi into Xi square.
The Xi square itself we don't have. How will you find Fi Xi square? Anyone else? Bhavya?
Fi Xi into Xi.
Fi Xi into Xi. Do you all remember this we studied in the last chapter? So this workings will be required. For X bar we require Fi Xi. For mode no workings are needed. For standard deviation we require Fi Xi square. Got it everyone? So give these headings and write the values of Xi and Fi. Okay, whatever values of Xi and Fi are given in the question, note it down. As such, we have practiced all these workings, everything in the past chapters, but to revise it, I'll explain it again. And the next question I'll ask you to do it on the board, okay? Raise your hand who is still writing up till Fi. Shall I proceed with further calculations? All of you have written it? So first we need Fi Xi, okay? Fi will be multiplied with Xi. 2 into 1, put it in M plus. You remember memory functions also? So 2, 7 into 2, 14, put it in M plus. Keep on putting it in M plus, okay? Then do 10 into 3 M plus, you get 30. 15 into 4, 60 M plus. 12 into 5, 60 again press M plus. 7 into 6, 42 M plus. 4 into 7, 28 M plus. 2 into 8, 16 M plus. Press MR. 252. Do you all get this? All are clear with Fi Xi values? Raise your hand who did not understand. All are clear? Now Fi Xi square, how we are going to find Fi Xi into Xi means these two to be multiplied. Okay, so again, first of all, erase the memory MC or press on 2-3 times. Cancel it now. Put 2 into 1 M plus. 14 into 2, 28 M plus. 13 into 3 M plus, you will get 90. 60 into 4 M plus, you will get 240. 60 into 5 M plus, you will get 300. 42 into 6, 252 M plus. 28 into 7, 196 m plus 16 into 8, 128 m plus decimal 1, 2, 3, 6, and n will be the total of frequency. So 2, 9, 19, 34, 46, 53, 57, 59. Is everyone up to play with this? Anyone who did not understand the workings, next question I'll ask you, okay? Now, mode is defined, so J will be x bar minus mo upon S. So first we need x bar. Anyone still writing up till here, raise your hand. So first we need x bar. Write down x bar is equal to, do you remember sigma fi xi upon n? The formula of x bar, sigma fi xi upon n. Shall I proceed? See here, sigma fi xi is 252 and divided by n is the total of frequency 59. 252 upon 59. Sing. Answer. 4.27. Do you all get this? All are clear with this? Use proper calculators. Now x bar minus mo upon S. Raise your hand. What was the formula of mode in a discrete frequency distribution? Mode's formula in discrete frequency distribution. Say. Discrete. Now the observation against highest frequency. What is the highest frequency? Observation against that. Okay, mode is observation against highest frequency, that is equal to 4. Then standard deviation in a discrete frequency distribution, we used to apply the formula square root sigma fi xi square upon n minus sigma fi xi upon n whole square. Do you all remember this in the last chapter? Now square root of, has everyone written the formula? Now sigma fi xi square, see here in the workings, sigma fi xi square is 1236. So square root of 1236 divided by n is the total of frequency 59 minus sigma fi xi is 252. Do you all get that? Upon n is 59 whole square. Did everyone understand this? Now, Hemal, 1236 upon 59. 20.94. After 4, what is the next digit? 949, so 95. 252 upon 59 is 4.27. In x bar we have done that, whole square. Is everyone clear with this? Now 20.95 minus J, 4.27 square. After 2, 3, what is the next digit? So you will keep it 2, 3 only, okay? How do you do square in the calculator? Into equals to. Okay, 4.27 into entirety you will press equal to. Now, what is 20.95 minus 18.23? 2.72 and square root of that 1.65. Did you all understand this? Anyone having any doubt? Now we can apply the formula of J. We obtained x bar, we obtained mode, we obtained S. Mode is defined. So therefore J is equal to, J means coefficient of skewness, x bar minus mo upon S. Okay, J is x bar minus mo upon S. What is x bar? We obtained 4.27 minus mo 4. upon S we obtain 1.65. 0.27 upon 1.65. That is 0.16. Did you understand this? So all are clear how to find the coefficient of skewness. All this, see all these things up till here, including the workings we already studied in the last two chapters. Only extra new in this chapter is this. Okay, everything else we already studied is just a revision of all those things. Are you okay with it? Now every question we have to write the interpretation. So here you write that skewness is positive. And if answer is very near to 0, like is this very near to 0 or not? Answer should be between -1 and +1. If it's very near to 0 means skewness is less. Skewness is less means it is near to symmetry. Skewness is less means your distribution is very near to symmetry. Okay, so you'll mention that right now. Thus the skewness is positive. Thus the skewness is positive, and the distribution is near to symmetry. When will you say it is near to symmetry? When answer is very near to 0. Okay, then you'll say that. Now exercise 5, section E, page 211. Question 8. This I'll be asking you now, okay? Be attentive. The following information is available about defective staplers after 50 packets of 500 after testing 50 packets of 500 staplers each. Find coefficient of skewness using Carl Pearson's method. Very first of all, what is the first situation when mode is ill-defined? Unequal class lengths. Here class lengths are not there only, so we don't have to check that. Second, what is the highest frequency? 18. Is it occurring twice or more? No. Third condition, highest frequency is in the beginning or at the end. Is 18 in the beginning or at the end? No. Fourth, mixed type. Is it partly discrete, partly continuous? It is fully discrete. So again the mode is defined. First we'll mention that, and same workings, mode is defined. Xi and Fi is given, we need to find Fixi and Fixi square. So write down here, mode is defined. Xi is given, Fi is given. We have to find Fixi and Fixi square. Okay, note down the values of Xi and Fi. Has everyone written the values up till Fi? Raise your hand who is still writing it. Rima, Fixi. Yes, 5 into 19, 95, put it in M plus. 18 into 20, 360. 10 into 21, 210. 8 into 22, 176. 23 into 4, 92. 24 into 2, 48. 25 into 2, 50. 26 into 1, 26. Plus MR, what do you get? 1057. Do you all get this? Everyone? Then consider Fixi square. 18. How do you get that? Correct. It's correct, okay? Fixi into Xi, these two will be multiplied. So 95 into 19, 1805. Tell me all the values fast. And keep on putting in M plus everyone, okay? Yes, 360 into 20, 7200. We'll put it in M plus. Yes, 210 into 21, 4410. We're speaking in between. 176 into 22, 3872. 92 into 23, 2116. What is 48 into 24? 1152. Shh. What is going on? Why are people laughing again and again and again? Yes, further. 50 into 25, 1250. 26 into 26, 676. Press MR and what do you get? 2? 2, 3, 5. Silence everyone. 2, 2, 4, 8, 1. Who will get it? 22481. Only you are getting one very shouting. Yes, now, silence, we also need the total of Fi. So, 550. Now, yes, I don't want that dialogue, okay? Now, Shlok. Next.
X bar is equal to
X bar is equal to
summation Fixi upon n
sigma Fixi upon n
1057 upon 50.
1057 upon 50. Yes, it's around 21.14. All are clear with this? Then, would be mod equals to observation against highest frequency. What is the observation? But answer. 18 is highest frequency. Is mode 18? 20. Mode is 20. Did you understand this observation against highest frequency? Then, Bhavsa, square root of sigma Fixi square upon n minus sigma Fixi upon n whole square. Yes, sigma Fixi square 2481 upon n 50 minus sigma Fixi 1057 upon n 50 whole square. Did you understand this? Further? 449.62. 21 minus 21.14 whole square. 22481 upon 50, 449.62, 1057 upon 50, 21.14 whole square. Further? 21.14 square, 446.90. 2.72. And what is square root of 2.72? 1.65. So all up there up till here. Harveen, what next?
So J is equal to X bar minus M by S.
X bar minus mo upon S. And further completed. Silence over there.
21.14
X bar we have obtained 21.14
upon 1.65.
minus what? Minus mod we have obtained 20 upon S 1.65. 0.14 upon 1.65. 0. 0. 21.1. Now 0.69, is it near to 0? No, it is near to 1. Your answer is between minus 1 and plus 1. So this is not near to 0, it is near to 1. So here we will not say it is close to 70. We will only write that skewness is positive. That's it. Okay? So that out thus the skewness is positive. So did you all understand this? One more I'll explain on the board, then one will play on your own. So same page, question number 7. Same page, question number 7. Be attended. Exercise 5, section E. Page 211, question 7. The frequency distribution of sale of notebooks from a stationery shop in the month of June for year 2014 is as follows. Find coefficient of skewness using Karl Pearson's method. Now, first condition, unequal classlets, there are no classlets. Second, what is the highest frequency? 7. Does it occur twice or more? Yes. So here mode is independent. Are you okay with this? Here the mode is independent. First we'll mention that. Here mode is ill-defined because highest frequency occurs twice. Now understand how the workings will change. If it is ill-defined, then what formula you have to apply for J? 3 into X bar minus M upon S. Means instead of mode, now we have to obtain median. xi is given to you, fi is given to you. X bar still we have to find, so fi xi is to be obtained. Standard deviation still we have to find, so fi xi square is still to be obtained. But now instead of mode, what do we need? Median. For mode, no workings were required. But for median, we require CFI. Okay, so if median is not required, mode is defined, then only these four things. But if mode is ill-defined, then what one more working you'll make? CFI to find median. Okay, so write down these things and note down the values of xi and fi. Did everyone write the values of xi and fi? Is anyone still writing the values of xi and fi? All have written it? Now, first we need to find fi xi. So 2 into 30 is 60, 2 into 25 50, 7 into 21 147, 3 into 20 60, 18 into 4 72, 16 into 7 112, 15 into 2 30, 12 into 3 36, plus MR, what do you get? 567. Are you all clear with this? Now fi xi square, so fi xi into xi, 60 into 30, 1800, 50 into 25, 1250. What is 147 into 21? 3087. 60 into 20, 1200. What is 72 into 18? 1296. 112 into 16? 1792. 30 into 15, 450. 36 into 12, 432. Yes? 1107. 11307. Who will get 11307? Now, what is the total of, okay, CFI. Do you all remember how we used to find CFI? Add the frequency, so first is 2, then 2 plus 2, 4, then 4 plus 7, 11, then 11 plus 3, 14, 14 plus 4, 18, 18 plus 7, 25, 25 plus 2, 27, 27 plus 3, 30. All of you are clear with this? Same pattern, but after x bar, instead of mode we will obtain median. Then standard deviation and will apply different formula. Okay? Anyone still doing the workings? Raise your hand. Shall I proceed further? So first we'll find x bar. Sigma fi xi upon n. Sigma fi xi is 567 upon n is 30, 18.9. Now, do you remember median's formula was value of n plus 1 upon tooth observation? Observation should not become obs. Okay, right, completely. Value of n plus 1 by tooth observation. What is n here? 30, total of frequency. So, value of 30 plus 1 divided by tooth observation, that is equal to value of 15.5th observation. Now raise your hand, will be expanded or not? 15.5th observation, raise your hand, will be expanded or not? 15.5th. Armin?
Yes.
How will we expand? Silence everyone, please keep silence. Sit down Armin. Akshay, 16th minus 50. Sit down. Sing. Jen, what is the number before the decimal? Do you have 15 in CFI? We have done this in the chapter 3 that in a discrete frequency distribution, ungrouped you will always expand. But in a discrete frequency distribution, you will expand only if the number before the decimal is present in CFI. I taught you shortcut method after this. Just find CFI just greater than 15.5. Which is CFI just greater than 15.5? 14 is greater than 15.5. Who is this? Share? Yes, that is Amin Bhai. Yes, be attended. 15.5. Which one is just greater than 15.5? 18. And what is the observation against that? So, median is 18. No need to solve or expand it directly, you write it. You would have expanded if 15 was there in CFI. Okay? Did you all understand this? Now, standard deviation, same formula, so write down. Silence, no one should be talking. Sigma Fi square upon n minus sigma Fi upon n whole square. So sigma Fi square, we have 11307, square root of 11307 upon n is 30 minus sigma Fi is 567. All be able to find it? Divided by n is again 30 whole square. So square root of, now 11307 divided by 30. Reach up point 376.9 minus 18.9 whole square. Okay, 567 upon 30 is 18.9. So square root of 376.9 minus 357.4121. So difference comes to 19.69 and square root is 4.44. Are you all clear with it? Now we'll apply the formula. J is equal to 3 into x bar minus m upon s. Okay, so 3 into x bar is 18.9, we obtained that, minus m is 18 upon s, we obtained 4.44. Don't multiply 3 with 18.9, first you'll solve the bracket. So 3 into 0.9 upon 4.44. Now solving 3 into 0.9 upon 4.44. 0.6 0.61. Here also it's not close to 0, it's close to 1. So we just write that the skewness is positive. So you'll mention below that the skewness is positive. Exercise 5.1, question 2. I'll discuss and you'll do it on your own. See that? In 10 minutes it should be completed, okay? Exercise 5.1, do. Page 196. See that? Are class lengths unequal? Class lengths are not there. What is the highest frequency? 56. Does it occur twice or more? Yes. So mode is independent. Exactly same. Here mode is independent because highest frequency occurs by same workings and same formulas. Start solving it. Follow it. Without talking, continue with the things. Just 1 minute, then you can continue with your work. Look at page 213. Look at page 213. Let me see how smart you people are. Page 213, question 9. This is going to be your homework. See, the question is, find coefficient of skewness by Carl Pearson's method and interpret it. We always do the interpretation in everything. Now, without solving it, can anyone of you tell me what answer will come? Without solving it, what answer will come? Jen? It is perfectly symmetrical. Look at the frequencies. It is like I gave you the homework yesterday. 10, 25, 50, 25, 10. Highest frequency 50 is in the middle. Either sides 25 and 10. Your answer will come 0. In advance I am telling you, when the distribution is symmetrical, skewness is 0. So in the interpretation, what you will mention here, the skewness is 0 means interpretation you will mention the distribution is symmetrical. Don't write skewness is positive or negative. Skewness is not there only. It is 0. So you'll just mention distribution is symmetric. Continue. Continue with exercise 5.1 question 2. So discrete frequency distribution questions are over. Tomorrow I'll take up with